This presentation is for the students of St. Francis High School who have been invited to participate in the National Honor Society membership selection process in 2020. First, it's important to note what the National Honor Society is. The National Honor Society has a chapter at St. Francis High School, and the purpose of this chapter is to create an enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate a desire to render service, to promote worthy leadership, and to encourage the development of character in students at St. Francis High School. Our chapter abides by all of the rules set forth from the National Honor Society National Constitution. Current and future members of the National Honor Society are sophomores, juniors, and seniors. These students have had a 4.0 GPA, and that shows that they have scholarship as one of the pillars of the National Honor Society. They have also proven service, leadership, and character in and outside of the school, and these are the other three pillars of the National Honor Society. I will explain a little bit about the pillars of the National Honor Society. First, we have service. Service is generally considered to be those actions that are taken by a student which are done with or on behalf of others without any financial or material compensation. This means that students demonstrate service by volunteering, sacrificing to help others, they work well with others, they take on challenging responsibilities, they also serve the school in a cheerful and enthusiastic way, they're courteous, and they help teachers, visitors, other students, and they also participate in service activities outside of school. The pillar of leadership is defined as the ability to have vision, define purpose, and motivate others to action. Leadership can be demonstrated in many ways. For example, students have initiative in promoting school activities or also have academic initiative. They also are reliable, dependable, they're a positive influence on their peers, and they also inspire positive behavior in others. They contribute in class during their teams and activities. They lead in the class for their teams and activities. They delegate responsibilities, and they also conduct daily school business effectively and efficiently. The next pillar is character. Character is present in a person who demonstrates respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, trustworthiness, and citizenship. It can be shown in many ways. Students who demonstrate the pillar of character use criticism constructively and accept recommendations graciously. They exemplify desirable qualities and characteristics such as friendliness, poise, and stability. They uphold the principles of morality and ethics. They really hold themselves to the highest degree of honesty and reliability. They're self-disciplined, they observe rules, and always uphold the rules for the school. As previously mentioned, scholarship is the last pillar. Students in the National Honor Society have a 4.0 GPA or higher, and they also have maintained it through their time as members. It's important to note what the members of the National Honor Society do. Every year, students begin the school year with a donation of $5. This is actually a due, and the due is for various service activities the students perform throughout the school year. Students are also required to participate in school service and community service, thus determined by the chapter advisors. Additionally, students tutor for 1 semester. And lastly, we have meetings, maybe twice a month, which students must attend. Now I will go over the basic idea of the selection of members. First of all, you have been invited because you have achieved a GPA of a 4.0. In the next process, you will complete a candidate form to demonstrate leadership, service, and character. This candidate form is then reviewed by the Faculty Council. The Faculty Council reviews this information in addition to a faculty evaluation form. After reviewing all the information, the Faculty Council votes to accept a student into the National Honor Society. Students receiving a 3/5 majority vote will become members of the National Honor Society. So the first step for all candidates is completing the candidate form. This form can be found at this web address. Please make sure that you save the candidate form after opening it. Then, as you work, save your information often. I'm going to go through the candidate form with you now. First, you'll see the cover page. The cover page has very important information. It gives you a checklist of what you need to do. It gives some consent about the information that you've provided. It also has a list of important dates that you need to know for this process. And lastly, after completing the candidate form, both the student and parent or guardian must sign it. On the next page, you will see that you will need to list your service activities. On this list, you can include up to 5 different activities, but no more. These 5 activities need to have a title. You need to mark what grade you participated in these activities, a contact name, telephone number, and give your best idea of the time period you did to serve this activity. You also see that after this page, there are activity sheets. So, for every activity you list, you must complete an activity sheet. On this sheet, you are going to explain in depth what you did and how you showed service in this activity. Remember, this is your time to brag and really explain yourself thoroughly so that the faculty council can really understand your activity. You must provide an activity sheet for each one of the activities you have listed. Next, you will list your leadership. Your leadership also has a list of up to 5 different activities. You cannot put any more than 5. Once again, make sure you title the activity, put the grade you participated in the activity, contact name, telephone number, and give your best guess of the time you spent during this activity. You can also include the number of seasons, for example, that you participated in the sport. Or also, for example, if you participated in theater, you can talk about which season that was in. Additionally, you will have to complete an activity sheet for each one of your leadership. You will also explain very thoroughly in this leadership sheet what you have done and how you were a leader in the activity. Although some of your activities might be considered service and leadership, you can only list the activity on one of the pages. The last part of the candidate form is completing the essay. Remember that the essay can be no more than 250 words. Here is the rubric that is used to grade your essay. After you have completed the candidate form, you will turn it in to one of the advisors. All the information for the dates are included on the front cover page. All candidate forms then are reviewed by the Faculty Council. The Faculty Council has used a rubric system that's been an effective tool in the selection procedure and in evaluating service, leadership, and character, and this tool retains compliance with all national guidelines. The Faculty Council uses this rubric as a guideline in the determination of membership, but it is not an absolute determination of membership. This is what the rubric looks like. It explains the different phases of the selection process. In Phase 1, you can see leadership, service, character, and the essay. In Phase 2 is the teacher evaluation, and Phase 3 is the Faculty Council vote. As a reminder, the rubric is a helpful tool, but does not determine whether or not a student is admitted into the National Honor Society. A majority vote for admittance into the National Honor Society is based on all information provided from the Faculty Council. After the Faculty Council receives the candidate forms, they will score service and leadership. The service activities are awarded points based on the significant commitment of actions undertaken by the student that are done with or on behalf of others without any financial or material compensation. Activities with a larger time commitment and responsibility are scored higher. Remember that the descriptions of the service activity sheets inform the Faculty Council of the significance of the service. You can include up to 5 entries, but no more than 5. In a similar fashion, the leadership activities are awarded points based on the ideas of responsibility, reliability, and dependability needed for the activity. Leadership activities can be positions of responsibility in athletic teams, performing arts, co-curricular activities, and groups outside the school community. Activities with larger commitments and responsibilities are scored higher. The descriptions that you put on the leadership activity sheets will really help the Faculty Council understand the responsibility, reliability, and dependability that have been needed for the activity. Remember, up to 5 entries are considered, and you may not repeat an entry that you included on your service sheets. Now, the essay provides the student an opportunity to express the meaning of character and the value of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society that cannot be accomplished through activity sheets. Essays are scored holistically, considering the quality of the response. Please look at the rubric that was shown previously in the presentation. It's important to note that grammar and mechanics are not scored on this essay, but they do play a part in communicating your information. For the pillar of character, the Dean of Students is consulted about the record of conduct and behavior of the candidate with regard to the school rules, guidelines, and policies. If there are no major infractions, the candidate is awarded all points. After Phase 1 begins Phase 2. In Phase 2, the faculty gives input. Faculty input is used to supplement the candidate forms and support the strength of a student's candidacy in the areas of service, leadership, and character in the classroom setting. All teachers complete scoring forms for current and previous students. The scores from each area are then compiled and an average is taken. The Faculty Council receives all the information explained previously. From this information, they determine by vote whether a candidate can become a member of the National Honor Society. Here are a couple last thoughts. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the candidates on their excellent scholarship. You have achieved a 4.0 GPA, and that is absolutely wonderful. The National Honor Society is more than an honor roll. Each member must demonstrate not only good grades, but also strength in each of the remaining 3 criteria: character, leadership, and service. This is not an election, nor is membership automatically conveyed simply because a student has achieved a specified level of academic performance. It is very imperative that you demonstrate your character, leadership, and service, both in and out of the classroom every day. Make sure that you review your candidate form thoroughly before you turn it in. The due date for the candidate form is Thursday, February 27th at 8 a.m. You can give it to Ms. Brand, Ms. Palella, or Mr. Quinn, who are all advisors of the National Honor Society. You will turn in 3 copies of your candidate form. It must be typed and also printed single-sided. 1 will be paper clipped and 2 will be stapled. Also, you have to include 1 size 10 self-addressed and stamped envelope. The envelope provided will give you your results, whether you have been selected for the National Honor Society. Thank you so much for listening and understanding all the information.